Hello, everyone. This is the Jakarta EE Working Group update call by the Steering Committee. I will just start off the call, and then members of the Steering Committee will take over and provide update for the working group members. On this call today, we have Steering Committee has prepared the following agenda. So we will welcome the Jakarta members. We will introduce the Jakarta committees, tell you most of the things that were happening within Jakarta world to date. And then Kevin Sutter will who is leading the effort on Jakarta E9 release, will provide the update with regards to Jakarta E9. We'll just briefly talk about the opportunities and benefits for members, and hopefully we'll hear from some of the members about their reasons for joining the working group. And then we'll have the discussion, hopefully from the audience, because we're curious to hear how can we do better and how we can improve. So without any further ado, I would turn this over to Will Lyons and David Blevins, who will welcome the Jakarta members.
Hello, everybody. My name is Will Lyons. I'm with Oracle. And you're a little bit advanced, Tanya. Should be on slide 4, I believe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem. I chair the Jakarta EE Steering Committee, and we'd like to welcome all the members to this meeting. It's actually unfortunate that I'm not able to see what members are here that are not normally at our steering committee meeting, but welcome all of you. Thank you for attending. This is an important time for Jakarta EE because we're approaching a transition. We have already delivered Jakarta EE8, the first Jakarta EE specification last year. And as we will be describing, we're working on Jakarta EE9, which is the next version of the specification, which Jakarta E9 provides functional equivalence to Jakarta EE8, but transforms the use of the JavaX namespace to use the Jakarta namespace. Until Jakarta EE9, much of the work of this group has been in transitioning from Java EE to Jakarta EE and transitioning to a namespace which can be used to evolve the technologies going forward. And so there is more opportunity now for the community and for the members of Jakarta EE to set the direction for the platform. And we're looking to encourage your input and participation in the effort as members of Jakarta EE and as prospective members who may have joined because you're interested in considering joining. So we're particularly interested in how we can do better in terms of adding value for our members and encouraging membership and identifying ways that we can add value through Jakarta EE for the members of Jakarta EE. I don't know if David is actually on the call today.
He is.
He is.
He joined late.
Okay. How are you?
Good.
So I'd like to just hand over to David Blevins from Tommy Tribe to comment on adding value for members and soliciting your input there.
Yeah, so we're going to save about 20 minutes. We're going to try to save about 20 minutes at the end for open discussion on, how to do better as a working group and how to, make you the happiest or happy enough to renew. I'm sure you weren't prepared to this call thinking, here's my list of things that I would want, but try to think of what it is that what kind of value you're expecting to get from the level of membership that you have, and what will keep you renewing and supporting the working group over the next several years. And let's have a discussion about that at the end and see if we can make sure we're headed in the right direction. So definitely use the time to think about that. And if you do have any questions during the slides that we give, feel free to mention them. We may table them to the end, but it's okay.
Okay, next, Tom. Okay, what we're going to do next is to introduce the key Jakarta EE working group committees. These are the committees that drive many of the activities of the working group, and we thought it would be useful for all members to get a little bit familiar with the composition of the committees and what their work is. So why don't I start? This is Will Lyons again with the Jakarta EE Steering Committee. Most of the information we're going to be discussing today is actually available for review at the Jakarta EE website, which Tanya is showing here. And as you can see, the steering committee owns the overall strategy for the project or for the undertaking, and drives the strategy, the roadmap, issues like funding, governance, and the overall requirements of the platform going forward. I don't know if you've got the working group charter, if you could even bring that up briefly. So you've got a tab there. So in fact, the entire organization of the Jakarta working group is defined by this charter document, and within the charter document, the roles of the various committees are defined. So you can see that the powers and duties of the steering committee are laid out. The membership of the steering committee is laid out. So the structure of governance of the working group is defined in this charter document. If we could go back to the slideshow, I'll just walk through quickly the composition of the steering committee. I am the chair of the steering committee from Oracle. Other members of the steering committee are Kenji Kazumura from Fujitsu, Dan Bandera from IBM, Steve Millage from Payara, Mark Little from Red Hat, David Blevins, who's spoken earlier, from Tommy Tribe. Martin Verberg is, all the first set of members I've introduced are all strategic members of the working group. Martin Verberg is from the London Java community. He is an elected member from the participants members of the working group. Arjan Timms is an elected committer member representative to the steering committee. And Scott Wang from Primeton is an elected member from enterprise representatives on the working group. We meet weekly to discuss status of progress of the work of the various committees, define future directions. All of minutes of our meetings are published on a regular basis, so you can see what we're up to. Right now, much of our work is focused on the status of the Jakarta E9 development project, plans for a Jakarta 1 live stream coming up, and we'll be discussing that later on in this presentation. I will now turn it over to the marketing committee. Specification.
Well, actually, yeah, we'll do specification first, and Paul Buck, who is chairing this committee, will take over. Thank you, Will.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tanya. I'm Paul Buck. I'm from the Eclipse Foundation, and I am the chair of the Jakarta EE Specification Committee. Just like the steering committee, the Jakarta EE Working Group Charter describes the scope and responsibility of the Specification Committee as well as its composition. The primary responsibility for the Spec Committee is to assure that the Jakarta EE specification process is applied as appropriately for all projects that make up Jakarta EE. The Jakarta EE specification process is a customization of the Eclipse Foundation specification process. And you can find both of those process documents on the web. We follow them closely, and our meetings are generally conducted around all matters relating to the process and the application of it, and in particularly to the specs. Right now, we're very focused on the specifications for Jakarta EE9. The spec committee typically meets every other week, but during busy periods, like going through the throes of getting the release out, we're now meeting on a weekly basis. The committee membership is made up of representatives from each of the strategic members: Kenji Kazumuro from Fujitsu, Dan Bandera from IBM, Ed Bratt from Oracle, Andrew Plage from Payera, Scott Stark from Red Hat, David Blevins from Tommy Tribe. Ivar Grimstad is the PMC representative from the EE4J PMC. Marcelo Anselmo is the elected participant member representative. So for the participant members of the working group, they have an elected representative, and it's Marcelo. Similarly, for the committer members, there's an elected representative, and that's Werner Kahle. And for the enterprise class of membership, there is also an elected member, and that is Scott Wang. The meetings are generally participated by the alternates as well as the primaries. Our meeting minutes are published on the website, and they're also, there you go, once approved. And we're also now sending them to the, we'll go back to this slide, please. Mm-hmm. We're also sending them to the spec committee discussion mailing list. So if you're not subscribed to that mailing list, I'd encourage you to join it. All right, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Next,
Paul.
on to the marketing committee. Thank you, Tanya.
Hi, everybody. My name is Neil Patterson. I chair the marketing committee for Jakarta EE, and similar to the other groups, we have we're governed by the charter, but I've taken the liberty of putting a brief description of our role on this slide. We deal with things that are related to the trademark, the logo usage, determining how we're going to market and communicate activities related to Jakarta EE, and also ways in which we can improve and invite new members to participate in the Jakarta EE process and in the various committees. You can see there the list of members. Again, we have a good range of members from the different organizations and elected members, and we're excited as well to have good support from the Eclipse Foundation to carry out our activities. Wanted to give you a highlight of some of our activities leading into this time of year. Very busy. We were meeting twice a month or every other week, and we've gone to weekly meetings, and even that seems to put pressure on us to get through things. But we are actively encouraging members and tool vendors to work through supporting Jakarta EE9. That's the big activity this time of year. We have a big live stream event planned for December 8th that we are actively promoting, and there you'll see a registration link at the bottom under resources for that event. Please, if you haven't already registered, that will be a great event where we promote what's happening around Jakarta EE and launch the Jakarta EE 9 release. We've done some other things. We've implemented a new collateral process, so to streamline the getting new collateral onto the Jakarta site related to the work that's being done. We're working on a revamped compatible products page. Most recently as well, Eric from Primeton has spearheaded a Jakarta EE Community China and associated web or digital presence. And as it aligns with our goals and objectives for this year, we are working with some organizations to help improve our search engine optimization and digital branding to better support the community and attract new visitors to the Jakarta site. One of our other primary activities is supporting events. You'll see some that are coming up in the near future, and we certainly invite you to look at come and visit us in our virtual booth at these upcoming events, but also to participate with us in those events. Resources are listed there, including the minutes, which we publish as they're approved, and again, various guidelines related to the resources, related to our trademarks and branding. With that, I'll turn it over to the next person.
Okay, and the next couple of slides will be presented again with Will Lyons, and some of them by me as well. So we would like actually to kind of celebrate all the successes we had to date, and then point out to some of the key reasons or key achievements rather of Jakarta EE. So Will, do you want to take over just general Jakarta EE?
Yep, that sounds good. So so you're looking for the, there we go. So again, referencing the Jakarta EE website, as many of you know, Java EE has been a critical and continues to be a critical platform for enterprise applications. The technologies in Java EE have been contributed to the Eclipse Foundation, where they are now evolving under the Jakarta EE brand. In evolving the technologies in Jakarta EE, we're seeking to create a more open process, which is not driven or overly influenced by a single vendor. So it's a multi-vendor and community-driven process, which is more open and which provides more flexible licensing and transparency to the community. Our goal is to make Jakarta EE the future of cloud native Java. At its heart, Jakarta EE is a set of specifications for the individual technologies that are included in the overall platform. We provide not only specifications, but technology compatibility kits, and verify as we release new specifications that we have compatible implementations of those specifications. Our goals are to evolve the platform more rapidly than was the case with Java EE by implementing a more community-driven, a more open process. We will lower barriers to participation and encourage participation from all members and all contributors and committers. And we also, at the same time, seek to advance and promote the brand in the community, at conferences, through social media on behalf of the community, to make the brand ubiquitous, to make the brand successful for both users and suppliers of Jakarta EE technology. So that's what Jakarta EE is all about. Jakarta EE is also a working group, and you've seen the various committees that form up the working group itself. If we could go back to the slide deck, and we could just look at the history slide briefly. So how did we get here? We started with Oracle's contribution of Glassfish technologies to the Eclipse Foundation and the EE4J project at the Eclipse Foundation. We also contributed our TCK, so the TCK for verifying compatible implementations is now available in open source. And then the Jakarta EE community together defined a new specification process, and we used that process to create a new Jakarta EE8 set of specifications, which was fully compatible with Java EE8, and for which multiple compatible implementations exist. The specifications are available under new licensing with new branding requirements, open compatibility testing. And so we've got many compatible implementations today for Jakarta EE8 and have demonstrated a lot of success with that. The next release, Jakarta EE9, will take the fully compatible, or will take the specifications in Jakarta EE8, which are fully compatible with Java EE8, and re-implement those specifications in a new namespace. We are removing a few deprecated specs, but generally speaking, there is functional equivalence in Jakarta EE9 to that which was available in Jakarta EE8. Having delivered Jakarta EE9, which is coming soon, we have a platform that is ready for future evolution, functional enhancement, pruning, definition of new profiles, etc. So we're on the cusp right now of delivering EE9 and delivering a platform which is wide open for community evolution. So that's my brief summary of what Jakarta EE is. I'll hand it back to you, Tanya. Thank
you, Will. So now that we know what Jakarta EE is, and that we already saw a slide with quite a few members of Jakarta EE working group, I just want to point out back to our Jakarta EE website, where you can find out information about the membership. And here we're currently listing all our corporate membership and different level of membership here. So strategic members, enterprise members, and participant members. And we're thrilled that our list of members is continuously growing. And with the Jakarta EE8 release, I also wanted to point out a list of compatible products that we have. And we're thrilled about the list that is continuously also growing. And you can see in here, we're listing the Jakarta EE platform compatible products, as well as Jakarta EE web profile compatible products. The version that we have released at this point is Jakarta EE8. So pretty soon this page is going to start changing and include information related to Jakarta EE9 as soon as it is released. And in order for your compatible product to be listed here, you can certainly follow the instructions from here. Again, Jakarta EE website, all the benefits of being listed here, and the reasons why we're making the Jakarta EE as a strong brand, and all the information on how to do it. So we are, I have to say, extremely proud on the list that we're having here, and the interest that has been shown so far. So we're also looking forward to actually listing some additional versions of certain compatible products. I don't want to point out any specific products at this point, but we already have some requests for additional versions that are supporting Jakarta E8. And we're looking forward to some success for the Jakarta E9. So I guess at this point, I will just switch over again to Will to talk us a little bit more about Jakarta E8 release.
Thanks, Tanya. Yeah, I guess I've already covered some of this.
Yes, exactly.
But I'll just to recap that Jakarta E8 was delivered a little over a year ago. Full compatibility with Java E8, as I mentioned. The specifications are all published at the Jakarta EE website. The TCK is now available in open source. In the Java EE days, the TCK was only available as a result of signing a license agreement. We have an open source license in process now. Tanya's covered, we have many compatible implementations, and something I'll mention is that Jakarta EE technologies are used not only in compatible implementations, but many of the individual specifications are used in a variety of products. Products like Tomcat, for example, don't implement the full platform or the web profile, but do leverage some of the key technologies provided in Jakarta EE. So we're delivering not only a platform, but specifications which are used broadly and throughout the community. We're really happy about the success we've achieved with Jakarta E8, and I'll turn it back over to Tanya.
Thank you, Will. And I'll just cover some of the key community outreach programs that we have, and remind you that we're looking forward to your participation in any of these programs, or your feedback on any of these programs. And for all of these and any other programs that we're doing, or anything else that Jakarta EE Working Group is working on, our Jakarta EE Marketing Committee is helping us with the promotion and is heavily involved, coaching us how to reach out to as many people interested in this technology as possible. So some of the outreach programs that, again, I will go to our website and show under the resources that there are many pointers how you can figure out and get additional information about any of the programs or any of the links. Here, you can also use the Connect page here that will guide you further to stay plugged in and informed about some of the programs. But ones that I particularly want to point out to is the regular update emails and calls that we're promoting, not just to Jakarta EE Working Group mailing list, but general community list. We're also heavily present on Twitter. We are having monthly or bi-monthly Jakarta Tech Talks, and we're inviting anyone who is interested in Jakarta-related technologies, so not just Jakarta EE, but related technologies to present their talks. We have tons of blogs, and actually out of the website, you can see the Jakarta blog, where you can also participate. Our developer advocate, Ivar Grimstad, hashtag Jakarta EE blogs, friends of the Jakarta EE monthly calls, that is organized from the community to the community. And then recently we started the Jakarta EE virtual tour. So we would be thrilled to present to you about Jakarta EE. So if you have a need for that, or your team or your colleagues are interested, please contact Tanya or Ivar, and we'll be happy to have a presentation there. One of the successes is definitely our Jakarta One live stream program. And actually that's the, I can say a virtual conference, and I can actually reach it from the resources, so I don't have to copy the link. So it's accessible from Jakarta EE website. You can see our past events. So we had a big one last year in celebration of Jakarta EE 8 release. We are planning one event in celebration, hopefully, of the Jakarta EE 9 release. So please visit this page, click on these links, and register. We're also organizing localized Jakarta One live stream events. At the moment, we had one in Japanese earlier this year. We had one, so this one is actually in Japanese as well. You can see it this way. We had one in Portuguese in, what was it? Just recently, August 29th. And if you are a Spanish-speaking Java developer, you absolutely have to register for Jakarta One live stream in Spanish. So if you are interested in organizing a regional Jakarta One live stream event for in your own language, please visit this page, get in touch with us, and let us know, and we will certainly help you out organizing one in your region as well. I have just provided a couple of links here. I kind of covered them already. So where to go to the mailing list, how to find about upcoming events. And if you just, again, go to this page, you will see all the news that we're having with regards to Jakarta EE. GitHub links, our Slack channel. Actually, it is. It could be a JUG related, but it's even wider than that. There is a Jakarta EE developer development workspace. So please make sure you're connected there. All the blog posts and virtual meetups, particularly pointing to Jakarta Tech Talks. So with all that introduction, I will actually, I invite Kevin Sutter to talk to us about the Jakarta EE 9 release. So Kevin, if you want to take it over, that would be great.
Okay, thanks. Next chart. Okay, so I know I'm only given about 5 minutes for this, and so this is going to be really quick for Jakarta EE 9 update. I've tried to include several different links for you to follow up with additional information if so desired, and I'm available on Slack, and of course, all these different mailing lists. And so you can get a hold of me if you have follow-on questions. So just to give a quick introduction, we have 2 release leads for Jakarta EE9. I've been driving most of the specification work, and then Steve Millage has been driving the implementation of the Glassfish as our compatible implementation for Jakarta EE9. So we've been working together trying to get this completed. We are the content for Jakarta EE9. It was decided several months ago, and I have a link there for the release plan. The big thing, and this has been mentioned by a couple of people on the call, the big thing is the namespace change. We've had to get ourselves off of the Java X namespace and move to the Jakarta namespace. So this was not an easy, well, in a way it was an easy decision because we were told we had to do it, but it is a lot of work. And so that's the majority of the effort for Jakarta EE9. You can see that we are also modifying the content a little bit from Jakarta EE8, where we are pruning, removing some of the features that are really no longer in use or very limited use. And so we're trying to lower the bar of entry for any new application servers that come along. We've had to add a few other features back in because eventually when we support Java 11, there's some features that used to be part of Java SE that were dropped in Java SE 11. So we had to bring them back into the Jakarta EE fold. And then we've made a couple of other items optional going forward. So the end goal of all of this is to try to make it easier to get to Jakarta EE9 compliance for new application servers. And then by moving to the Jakarta namespace, now we have a new foundation where we can really add new feature and function in Jakarta EE10 and beyond. So next chart. Okay, so, oh, didn't get to the next chart yet. Okay, there we go. So this project board is probably the best place to go if you're looking for a quick overview of where we are at with Jakarta EE9. We now have all of the specifications in some state of completion. So those 3 columns that I'm pointing out here, the one on the left, these are the ones that just are not quite there yet. They have been started, but they're in some state of completion. They are not ready for a ballot. Once we get all of the content to the appropriate state to be ready for a ballot, then they move to the next column. And that there's a 2-week ballot that is done for each of the specifications, and that each of the members of the specification committee have to vote on this. And then once we pass a 2-week ballot successfully, then that specification is complete. And then that moves into the column on the right. And so you can see that we're in different stages for all of the different specifications. We still have the majority of them in the left column. We've got kind of a goal deadline that over the next 3 weeks, all of those in the left column have to get over into the middle column at least. So we've got our work cut out for us. And next chart. And the end goal for all of this is to get to Jakarta EE9 completed, all ballots done, everything by November 20th. And so this means all the specifications, all the APIs, all the TCKs, and the compatible implementation has to be completed and approved, reviewed and approved, ballots, everything by November 20th. This gets us done, just before the US Thanksgiving holiday, and then just in preparation for the Jakarta 1 live stream, which has been mentioned by a couple of people on the call, on December 8th. And that's where, all the balloons and celebration and everything for Jakarta EE9 will happen. So that's a very quick update and introduction on Jakarta EE9. But like I said, you're welcome to reach out to me if you need additional information. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. And then I will just quickly point out, you know, some of the opportunities or places where you can find additional information about the opportunities and benefits for membership. And as part of the pointers, I think we already went to a couple of, I'm sorry now, a couple of links here. So here is the main page where you can find information about the membership. You can explore our members. We showed that earlier. You can also learn about membership benefits. Some of the benefits are listed here. And then you can also find out how to join Jakarta EE working group. I kind of summarized a little bit here that, of course, anyone who has invested heavily in Jakarta EE could protect their investment by joining the group. They can make sure that they have insight into the technical roadmaps. They can influence the priorities and teams for the releases, shape up the development of the specifications, collaborate and participate in development with other industry leaders in this space. And with involvement of your development team, you can certainly make sure that your developers are plugged in and working with the developers interested in technology from all different companies, right? And of course, publicly demonstrate support of Jakarta EE. Some of the membership levels that I listed here are, we already saw for the corporate members, strategic members, enterprise members, participant members, but we also have a committer member and then a guest member as well. So instead of me talking about this too much, I would actually like to invite maybe some of our members who could possibly give their own reasons why they're, what is the value for them in being part of the Jakarta EE working group. So I'm not sure if Ruslan or from Jelastic, who that's actually one of the companies that recently joined the working group. Ruslan, are you on the line?
Hello, Tanya. Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, good to have you here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Tell people about why are you part of the Jakarta EE working group and what are your expectations of it?
Okay, no problem. Sure. So thank you, first of all, for moving forward this great project. It's a lot of effort behind it, and many people are collaborating in a friendly, good manner, which is very good for the community in general. So, story about is unusual a little bit. I will tell the background. So we support Jakarta EE application servers, so multiple of them. So we are related to Jakarta EE, while we don't use it, let's say, by our company. So it's mostly used by our customers, right? So, and we were always close to Glassfish, let's say, implementations, right? So we have customers who like such application servers and a lot of Tomcat end users, let's say, right? And so we were close to the community while transformation was going on. At the same time, we are a small company. We were not able to, like to put some extra efforts outside of the main business. So today we are thinking how we can stay closer to the community, right, to Jakarta EE community, because we were at the beginning following and actually implementing our own unique features for Glassfish and other servers that support Java EE. And yeah, so for us, it's natural movement to participate in this community, to be able to share our ideas and collaborate in elaborations of new possible solutions for making Java more widely used across, let's say, not only enterprises, but young generation. Yeah, so this is one obvious way why we would like to participate. And second, be able to, to hear what are the new movements, to be able to transit this information to our end customers, probably adjust our product, for making better alignment with Jakarta EE technologies. So, and maybe additional expectation, let's say, right, to have some marketing opportunities together, because we put a lot of efforts behind support of Jakarta EE. I can tell you it's one of the most complex clustering solutions. If you want to provide automation for existing technologies, you have to put a lot of automation efforts behind it, comparing to other solutions, right? So that's the main points, if it makes sense.
Oh, it does. And thank you so much for joining the working group and providing this update. I also would like to invite our representative from China, Primeton, to provide their reasons for being part of the Jakarta EE working group. Eric, are you on the line?
Yeah.
Welcome,
I'm here.
Eric.
Okay. Thank you, Tanya. And I'm very glad to have the opportunity to share some opinions about why we see it. There are a lot of advantage for us to participate to the working group. But I must apologize for the awful pronunciation and grammar. First of all, Prompton is measuring in fundamental software, including cloud computing and big data and middleware. And application server is one of the most important products. So we know in the past there is a Java EE certification, and now we have Jakarta EE certification. I think we need that certification to convince our customers that our products are following the standard of the global specification. That's the first one. And secondly, as Prompton is the first enterprise member of Jakarta EE working group, so there is a great value to marketing. We can show our customers that we are always following the technology and following the great one of the most famous open source software foundation. So there will be more convenience for our customers. And finally, as we can take part in all the process of the working group as specification and marketing and steer committee, so we can always keep our products update with the new technology, such as cloud native and Microsoft service, microservice, and etc. So we can always to improve our products and keep it updated. So that would be all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eric. And just to emphasize as well, what Eric is helping out with and actually leading the effort is the forming of Jakarta EE Community China with the intention to gather the interest of large Java developer community and draw their attention to Jakarta EE. So thank you for those efforts, Eric, as well.
Thank you, Tanya.
So with this, since I think we're reaching the end of our presentation from the slides perspective, but we would like to hear the questions, comments, and I want to thank Amelia, who is already very active on asking questions, and thank as well the community who is answering as we go along. But please feel free to ask your questions, directly or in chat. This call is actually, the reason for this call is actually to hear from the members in terms of how we can improve. And if there are any others who are considering joining the working group, we're happy to, or actually steering committee is more than happy to answer your questions. So while people are thinking about questions, I will just point out that one of the questions that came out was related to the governments, how are the chairs of the committee selected. It's if you didn't pay attention to the chat, it's everything is volunteer based. So if you have an interest to be involved and be chair of the committee, once a year we have this election period and discussion on the chairs and participants in the working group. You're more than welcome to take part in that.
Do we have any people here who are thinking to become a member?
I'll raise my hand. My name's Rob Tompkins.
Oh, hi, Rob. Great to see you here.
Yeah. I actually am an Apache Software Foundation member and was nominated to be the relationship manager for Jakarta EE for the Apache Software Foundation. So I suppose that makes me a prospective member, and we're exploring the options on how we go about doing that. Tanya and I last week had a meeting to talk about that. And so I just wanted to show my face and just introduce myself to everybody and just say hello and wish everybody well. And for the time being, it seems that I'll just be conveying messages from you guys to the board and letting the board tell me what to do. And moving forward, I think it's going to be a very fruitful relationship.
And we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Wonderful to meet you, Rob. I'm David, also a member of the Apache Software Foundation, and I guess you're taking over for Henry.
I don't know. They said that the role hadn't been a Jakarta EE role before. Maybe there was a liaison to you guys that was nominally for the Eclipse Foundation. I'm relatively new to the Apache Software Foundation. My membership, I was voted in March of 2019, so I might be naive to that.
Yeah, it was Mark Struberg first and then Henry Yandel afterwards, but neither of them really engaged. So it's absolutely wonderful to see you here and engaged. That's an incredibly positive step forward. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I figure if I'm going to take on the role, might as well show face and see what can be done to build bonds.
That's fantastic, Rob. That's great.
I see a couple of people also who are not necessarily members. And even if you are not considering membership at this point, if you have some comments or questions, do let us know. I think I also saw a question from Scott Stark, and let me just make sure, hopefully you can see the chat in here. Red Hat would like to see better build resource management and tracking along with changes on how EE4J implementation projects are handled. So I think this is part of ongoing discussion, and thanks Scott for posting this. I believe some of the resource management, build resource management has been addressed and being discussed already on the mailing list, as well as discussion on the implementation project. But absolutely, it's still in discussion, and thanks for posting that.
So we have to get the targeted question, you know, for the people who are here, who are members, are you feel you're getting the value you expected, or maybe we can rephrase, and what was the primary motivation for you becoming a member? And maybe we heard from all of our members already.
Well, I don't think I can see Steve Millage here. I don't know if Steve wants to jump in with the conversation. Kenji is here as well.
So maybe I can say something as the
oh, absolutely.
Fantastic.
That's fantastic, Arjan. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. So as the committee representative, I just want to have some influence as well on the process. The committee member of several projects and a spec lead or a team lead, it's called at the moment, of several projects. So then it's, for me, quite valuable to be engaging with the overall process as well, as it directly influences the projects I'm working on. So I think with the previous process, with the JCP and Java EE, this was not always that easy to do. I think there were some entrances into the process, but it's with the Eclipse Foundation, it's quite easier to participate there.
That's fantastic to hear.
Well, I can speak up as well. Hey everyone, it's Martin here. I'm the participant member, so I represent the London Java user group. And our primary purpose in joining was that, you know, as a Java user group representing, you know, a broad range of Java developers, we have a chunk of our group who, you know, work day to day with the Java EE ecosystem and find that programming model comfortable, and it does the job for them. But for the decision makers, it's really always been about having, you know, sort of a vendor neutral standard that the ecosystem can rely on. And so we wanted to, you know, do our part in helping ensure the continuity of that. And of course, as Java user groups, we're slightly left leaning on the whole, we want to see things in a vendor neutral place and an open software foundation. So again, seeing Jakarta EE move to the Eclipse Foundation is, you know, the champagne corks were popping when the announcement was made last year inside our user group. So it's good stuff.
Thank you, Martin. Maybe we can ask also a hard question. Are there any members where they're concerned and their expectations are not quite met yet?
I will go on here. My name is Amelia, and I'm extremely happy that first call for the steering committee is a checkout, an inventory of what's what today. And I think this is a step forward to bringing Jakarta EE to a truly open source project. I have been very open in the forums, community forums, about what we should be doing better. And that is about bringing accountability and visibility on how we do things. It is not enough to show the goals as a raw product that is never raw. We are doing better when we fail in open spaces. I believe that we will be stronger as we continue to open up the steering committee calls. This one is the first one, and I hope they were brave enough to have one that is just a regular one that just shows how we get things done, recorded, audio, and pushed via Twitter, via YouTube. I think it's important for us to lower the barriers of entry. That means not only educating those that are all over the world, but also stating that there are no titles and that everyone can join and be in the same level, no matter who you are. You can be a student, you can be thinking about contributing to open source. You have so many foundations, and we can lead the road on to join and be with us, not behind us, but beside us. So I'm extremely excited about this because I have been pushing for it and taking the heat on it. And I don't mind, I love it. But alone and struggling, we are poor. Together and struggling, we're better. So thank you for having this call. I appreciate it because I have been asking for it.
Thanks, Amelia. And just to let everyone know, next week, we will have additional half an hour open call for the community from the steering committee as part of the J4K conference. And as well, the following day, we will have the update call as part of the J4K conference as well, but open for the community. So more to come. And if you have any questions, I see a couple of people who are not part of the working group. If this meeting was helpful to you, please get in touch and let us know. And we're super excited to get your feedback any way you choose to provide it. So as we are actually reaching the end of our meeting, I'm sure all of people are busy with the following meeting, so I will let everyone go and close the call. But I would like to thank you, all of you, for joining and participating.
Yeah, thanks very much.
And thanks to everyone who presented.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks to the steering committee. Bye for now.
And you. And you.
And you as well, yeah.
Thanks,
Exactly.
David. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.